Diocese of Fort Worth and Dallas. The monstrance will travel throughout the parishes in the Diocese of Fort Worth and Dallas throughout June. For more information about the schedule, call Joanne at 972-489-3220. That's 972-489-3220.
Loretta House in Denton is a pregnancy resource center that serves women dealing with unplanned pregnancies. They provide free pregnancy testing and free ultrasounds. Clients receive material goods like diapers, baby items, clothing, parenting classes, and more. Loretta House is an official apostolate of the Diocese of Fort Worth. All services are provided free of charge and remain completely confidential. Many babies are saved and many hearts changed. For more information, visit lorettahouse.org or call 940-380-8191.
Good Shepherd Catholic Community in Colleyville will host its annual parish garage sale on May 20th and May 21st, with proceeds being donated to missions and community outreach programs supported by the church. The garage sale is open to the public on Friday, May 20th from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Saturday, May 21st at 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Items featured include gently used items such as furniture, housewares, clothing for men, women, and children, home decor, toys, books, and sporting goods items. For more information, visit gscc.net/garage sale.
Do you think it would be easier to walk in your faith journey alone or alongside others? Scripture teaches us that we are meant to be in community. Pope Francis recently commented that fraternity is essential to the human quality. The #1 Catholic fraternity is the Knights of Columbus, and they have made it easier than ever to join. By joining, your family will enjoy a wide array of membership benefits, like a subscription to the largest Catholic publication, the Columbia Magazine. You can go online right now and become a member. Go to knights.net. That's KNIGHTS.net.
Men, it's time. The Men's March to End Abortion and Rally for Personhood is Saturday, June 11th, the weekend before Father's Day, from 12 to 3 p.m. in Tallahassee, Florida. Men gather at 12 p.m. for the march, while women, children, and families join us for the 2 p.m. rally at the Florida State Capitol. You are needed. Every life matters. Join us on June 11th in Tallahassee. For more information, go to themensmarch.com.
If you just experienced damages from the most recent severe weather, you need a professional to guide you through the insurance process. Hi, I'm Maury Buford with Buford Roofing and Construction and a proud member of the Guadalupe Radio Network. Please beware of the door-to-door, fast-talking, high-pressure salesmen that insist you sign a contract now. Take your time, weigh your options, and let a professional be your guide. We may be reached at our website, BufordRoofing.com, or by phone at 817-329-ROOF.
Join Claritas Catholic Men's Fellowship on Thursday, May 19th for a whiskey tasting, cured meats, cigars, and a guest speaker, Dr. Christopher Malloy. Dr. Malloy is a professor of theology at the University of Dallas and will be signing copies of his new book, False Mercy, Recent Heresies Distorting Catholic Truth. The event is open to Catholic men aged 18 and older, and space is limited. Register now at claritas.page. That's claritas.page.
St. Joseph is a patron saint of home and family. At My Mutual Mortgage of Grapevine, we support the Guadalupe Radio Network's mission of honoring and supporting home and family as longtime sponsors of KATH 910 AM.
We're Bob and Norma Duane, owners of My Mutual Mortgage of Grapevine. We would be honored to speak with you about all your mortgage needs. We can be reached at 817-527-3166. That's 817-527-3166. We are an equal housing lender, NMLS 265303.
Give the gift of life by donating blood. Shortages of all blood types occur during the summer months. To help with this shortage, Holy Redeemer Catholic Church in Aledo is hosting a blood drive through Carter Blood Care on Sunday, May 15th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. The mobile blood drive will take place at 16250 Old Weatherford Road in Aledo. To sign up and for more information, visit the parish website at holyredeemeraledo.org.
Welcome to Back to the Father, a show about the journey of life focused on our final end, which is God Himself, our loving Father. And now, here's your host, Dave Palmer.
And welcome to another fun-filled and informational episode of Back to the Father here on the Guadalupe Radio Network social media sites. I'm Dave Palmer, along with my amazing group of aspiring Thomists, including, but not limited to, Sissel Anderson. How you doing,
Hello.
Sissel? Good to see you. Sissel is transitioning from being a hat person. I said, that is not a hat.
No, so I am going head covering.
All right.
Something on my head. Mostly because I have used up all of my hats. I made that pledge that I would go about 6 months. And I made it those 6 months with all new hats, right?
Yeah. You're allowed to wear them more than once.
Okay.
Well,
all
yeah,
right.
there were a few. I remember there were duplicates.
Yeah, there were. I have done duplicates in the past. But today I wanted to go with the bandana. Basically look like Rosie the Riveter. Riveting Rosie, whatever her name
Who's
is.
that?
Yes.
Oh, wait. Is that the lady
Don't do it again.
From the poster? Propaganda
Yes,
poster?
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
okay. I got you.
All right. So we spent a lot of time talking about hats at the beginning, and Jonathan came in one time wearing a
Helmet.
A helmet?
Actually, several times.
I found that a little distracting, to be honest with you.
Why? Why would that be distracting, Dave?
I don't know. We're trying to do a serious show here, Jonathan, right?
We are.
And you're wearing like
You
a
invited
like
the
a
wrong-
nice
You invited the wrong people if that's what you were trying to do,
yeah.
Dave.
So,
Yeah.
anyways, that's Jonathan Von Weber-Hansberg.
That's
He
me.
likes Anna, Texas. He
I
likes
do.
Texas.
I do a lot.
And he's going to the University of Dallas, as we announced a couple weeks ago. Diane Xavier is behind the glass, and good to have her. Diane just kind of randomly pops into the show. We never quite know when she's going to open up her mic, but she has
Hello.
control
She's
over
like
all
the
that.
voice in our headphones.
And we have an interesting topic today for you. This show today is about whether or not Catholics are permitted to believe in fate. Okay, can we? I just stopped by Alondra's office a moment ago and asked her, I said, hey, do you think we can believe in fate? And she said, no, I don't think so. And I said, oh, well, St. Thomas Aquinas disagrees with you, but...
I knew it.
I
knew
it.
So,
Spoiler.
so you knew that he thought that you could believe in fate?
So much for building that up. We're just
Yeah, I
like,
know.
No.
Oh, well, okay, because I was going to... Oh, you wanted me to ask you, okay?
No,
Can
you're
we-
fine.
guys,
You're
we
fine.
don't know if he does or not. We have to
Okay.
wait and see what Dave
Well,
says.
okay, so I'll reframe it. Are you surprised that he believes in fate? But it's kind of a nuanced fate. So what you were going to say
Yes.
that he believed in it.
Well, not... Okay, I guess, yeah, like a different sort of fate. But
Okay.
I think just God has an ultimate plan, and things will go... He guides everything in a certain direction.
Yeah.
So, of course, we have free will and we can change it, but generally he has a plan. That's the general course we're going to follow.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I think when we think about it, like in culture today, like there's a lot of other cultures too have like an idea of what fate is. And so what I think a lot of people think of as fate, I would say no, just because I watch a lot of like shows that are made in Asia. And so like, there's a lot of like fate and destiny and that kind of thing. And that it's like very, very prevalent. But it's not like from an aspect of God, steering things.
Yeah, which would be more like something else is controlling the
Right.
shots. I mean, it's actually a very, very fascinating topic. I'm going to give a couple of examples here just to kind of wet our palate, so to speak. I have on this first slide this is just a little thing that I found. It says, never let fear decide your fate. Okay, so that's, just has to do with fate. The other one is a Ferris wheel. Okay, so you get on a Ferris wheel, or a roller coaster, Six Flags, or an amusement park, and you always think in the back of your mind,
What if this thing just starts rolling down the street?
Yeah, or if something, the box or whatever, the little seat that I'm in goes flying off. It happens every now and then, right?
Yeah.
So, if you think and this is or you get an airplane, right? And you fly. And you
Me
think,
every time I fly.
because if that plane is to crash, do you think that, it's already it's either going to do it or not, and it's kind of out of my hands? There's nothing I can do about it. And I'm not flying the plane, but is it already predetermined that this plane's going to go down, or is it just that the pilot's going to make a bad decision? I mean, these are like real life questions, right?
Yeah.
That we have to think about. So what do you think about all that? I mean, when you get on a plane, do you just think like, well, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen?
Every time I do it, I think I should have written my will. to leave all of my great, all the things, assets I have. Clearly,
I don't think you need a will when you're 23.
That's true. I don't think I do.
But yeah, I mean, you can
no,
have one.
no. But I'm a very. Whenever I travel, I go to confession beforehand. I always think about like.
Yesterday I actually went to Six Flags for the first time.
Oh yeah, that's right. You went on roller coasters.
First time ever.
Yeah, it was absolutely terrifying.
Which roller coaster did you go on?
He went on all of them.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Titan.
Titan, no, sorry, not Titan. Texas Giants.
You didn't do the Titan. Why not?
It was closed.
Oh, okay. That's a good excuse.
Yeah, good excuse. Tower of Power.
Do you think that was okay? Like, let's say, for example, it wasn't closed, and you went on it, and God forbid you fell off and you died. Okay, so the fact that it was closed, do you ever think about that kind of thing?
It was fated that it was closed.
Right.
Well, sometimes you miss appointments, or you hear about people like when there are plane accidents, people who just had changed their tickets, and didn't end up on that plane.
I have an example of that in my trivia today.
Yeah. Okay.
Very famous person.
Oh, okay. But there's lots of that.
So you're thinking like, was it closed so that God was protecting me from dying because I would have died otherwise?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
But there's we're not going to ever know that for sure, because you can't live, two different scenarios. Do you remember that movie? You probably don't know about it, Jonathan. But let me talk to somebody who actually has seen movies. It was called like Sliding Door, about the girl that was going to work one morning, and she's getting onto a train, and like the door was shutting. Oh, I know. And in one case she got on, and in another case, she didn't.
Yeah.
And because of that very small little thing, like in one case, she got to work on time. The other case, she didn't. She got fired. Then she ended up at another job. So it showed the parallel lives. And, I think she found a different person to get married to. She had different kids.
Just completely opposite.
All because of that door shutting and whether she got on the train or not. I mean, that has to do with fate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it does. That's true. I think there's a TV show right now about where someone playing out what career this one guy took, and he took like 3 different ones, and it like shows all of them like what his life would have been like if he did either of those things. So
that's cool.
Interesting.
It's real life scenarios. Now here's another one. The next slide. Who are you going to marry? Okay.
I would love to know. Thanks. You have some insight on that.
But I mean, we know God knows.
Right.
Well, first of all, if you're going to get married, whether Jonathan gets married, Diane gets married, and if so, who it's going to be, how many kids you're going to have, when isn't that kind of, I don't know, in a way it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
To think that
God actually knows everything. Because, there's like a lot of times I feel like where we're also in anxiety in our life, maybe before you're about to take an exam or about to do something stressful, you're always like, you're trying to picture on the other side of that. You're like, well, God's already seen this. God knows what's going to happen here.
It's interesting. It's going to come out one way or the other.
Right,
so why stress out about it, right? And then the lottery, you think about that. I don't even know how do they do lotteries? Are they balls or don't they pull balls?
For the Powerball, I think they do. I don't know. I don't know what the other ones.
You got all these little balls, or they're floating around, and then somebody puts their hand in it, or even the GRN drawing for the car raffle. I mean, you had thousands of little tickets in there with people's names on it. In this case, this year it was Clarissa Ramos, I think was her name.
Gonzalez.
Thank you, Clarissa Gonzalez. And her little paper was in there amongst thousands and thousands of other ones. Lisa puts her hand in, shakes it around and takes hers out. I mean, was that fate that she was going to win? Was it luck? Something had to control it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
Am I freaking y'all out or?
Yes.
No. A little bit, Dave. I'm kind of concerned right now.
It's deep thoughts. See, Diane's like, I'm not even in on this conversation. I'm not even paying attention. So, all right. So that's what we're going to talk about today: fate and how it relates to providence, superstition. Okay, think about that. Okay, so superstition, because if you go to like a fortune teller, you would think that fortune teller almost kind of knows the things that only God knows. The fortune teller would know, perhaps, I don't believe this, but that they claim to believe maybe what your future is going to be, who you're going to marry, where you should be, that kind of thing, right? Kind of weird. Also, kinda weird. Luck. If you say I'm a lucky person, is that wrong to say that? And what does it mean to be lucky? All right. Question. If you're out there in social media land and you want to weigh in on this, we'd love to hear from you. Buddy has already apparently chimed in. If we want to see what Buddy has to say.
He says, we have a day that the Lord will call us, and nothing We do. We'll extend it. No such thing as fate. So he's on the camp.
Oh,
of no
okay.
such thing as
No
fate.
such thing as fate. Okay. Well, he also is in disagreement with St. Thomas Aquinas. Okay, buddy. Sorry to say, man.
Well,
but again,
I'm
it's
curious
nuanced.
Yeah, I kind of want to see. I want to see exactly what he says because every time I'm like, okay, but then I go, wait, what about this circumstance? Does that count? Like as fate? Well, because like there's a whole thing about you're fated to marry this one person. Like you have that. Like the soulmate kind of idea. I kind of like tie that in, the idea that you have that one person. Like, yes, God has someone he intends for you to marry, but also I don't think we as Catholics believe that there's one person out of the 8 billion people that you're supposed to marry, if that makes sense.
Well, no, I think that there is, like, God would want you to marry this particular person, but you don't have to do that.
Right, that's true.
To.
Yeah, but like the case with the roller coaster, because Jonathan has already pointed out, well, we have free will, right? So fate, has to take free will into consideration, and we'll talk about that at the end of our slides today. But the roller coaster didn't really have a lot to do with free will in the sense of making moral decisions, right?
It's just an accident.
Whether I go to Six Flags tomorrow or not, that's not a good or bad decision. It wasn't like God saying, "Oh, I'm going to punish you and you're going to fly off a roller coaster," right? And so it's really, really nuanced. And so, all right, so let's get into it. Later on in the show, we're going to have fun with trivia. I think everybody came equipped. Jonathan really got creative. In fact, he's got props.
He had arts and crafts today.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and by the end of the show, we're going to see if Buddy is still around at the end of the show, whether Thomas has changed his mind or if it's just like, well, yeah, that's what I meant. I mean, I agree with Aquinas and fate as long as that's what fate means, right?
Hey, David L. Gray chimed in, by the way.
Oh, what do you say?
He said, according to K-drama theology, the person I am supposed to marry I knew in a previous life, which is very true.
Yeah. According to what now?
So Korean drama television shows, they're like theology that they have.
You guys aren't allowed to nerd out on Korean TV shows on this show, okay? Maybe
we don't have an outlet anymore.
Yeah, because I know that's all right. So pretty cool. It's an interesting topic. So let's get to it. And I will have a few other examples. Okay, so this is all one article of the Summa. Okay, oftentimes I draw from a lot of them. Actually, the free will question had to do with a little bit. So, all right, so when St. Thomas Aquinas says whether there be such a thing as fate, he basically says, quoting Boethius, he says, now this is interesting as well. He says, what does not exist cannot be defined. But Boethius defines fate. Okay, fate is a disposition inherent to changeable things by which providence connects each one with its proper order. Okay, so providence, of course, which is God. Now, that's interesting, though, because what does not exist cannot be defined. Do unicorns exist? You can define them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can define something that doesn't necessarily exist, or by its very definition, does that mean it exists?
Exists in your mind.
That look, I wish I could capture that look on Sizzle's face. Right
for a second, I was like, I got it. And I was like, I don't got it.
The look was basically saying, why did I agree to be on this program? Right. I hate this stuff.
I was like, you know what? I have emails to send. Let me go back.
Yeah.
But okay, so in the case of hold on a second. I'm trying to reason this out here.
Does a unicorn exist?
Okay, so the thing is I'm like, they maybe don't exist in the state that like of being a living creature that actually like exists that we base stuff off of, but we've put on like there's a lot of stuffed unicorns in the world and pictures of unicorns. Have we created a unicorn because of that then?
You could say that unicornness exists.
Unicornness exists, that's true.
In the brain.
So I think that's what he's saying is that if you can define something, then it exists, right? But, okay, how about you can't define a four-sided triangle. Right?
That's true.
If you said a four-sided triangle is a triangle that has four sides, because that's self-contradictory. But if you say a unicorn is a kind of a fictitious creature with one horn, okay, you've defined it, but it doesn't really exist, not in reality, right? All right. Kind of interesting. All right.
That poor brain.
All right, so now we get into it, okay? So I'm going to read some of this. Just kind of hang with me, but I think it requires a little bit of the reading, okay?
All right.
He says, in this world, some things seem to happen by luck or chance. Now, it happens sometimes that something is lucky or chance-like as compared to inferior causes, which, if compared to some higher cause, is directly intended. For instance, if two servants are sent by their master to the same place. The meeting of the two servants in regard to themselves is by chance, but as compared to the master who has ordered it, it is directly intended. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So if a master says, let's pretend I'm your master. Okay, I'm not claiming to be your master.
Uh-oh.
Okay, let that be clear.
Send help. No.
For the record, I'm not
Blink
claiming
twice
to
if you're being held.
Okay, so if I say, Sissel,
Yes.
I command you to go to the mailroom.
Okay.
And then, Jonathan, I command you to go to the mailroom. But you're in, I say that separately, and all of a sudden you guys meet each other in the mailroom.
Mm-hmm.
Is that chance?
No.
You were controlling that.
Yeah. But from your perspective, because I didn't tell you that I was doing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
And you see by like, wow, what are the chances?
That we got two of us got sent to the same mailroom.
Yeah. Yesterday I ran into a friend of mine at QT, and we both were buying beer. And
I never run into friends at gas stations.
And this is a guy from my parish, and so I said, oh, great minds thinking alike, a little joke, both of us buying beer.
Yeah.
Okay, but was that? But did God say, oh, I want this guy and Dave to be at QT at the same time buying beer? Why would that matter, right? God has better things to do than plan
bigger
something
things,
like that.
bigger fish to fry.
Then me and my. Okay, so it says, go on the second paragraph. So there were some who refused to refer to a higher cause, such events which by luck or chance take place here below. These denied the existence of fate and providence, as Augustine relates. And this is contrary to what we have said about providence. Okay, so Thomas is laying out the case that fate and providence are kind of like the same thing. Okay, that God kind of orders everything, right? So now, next slide. On the other hand, some have considered that everything that takes place here below, by luck or by chance, whether in natural things or in human affairs, is to be reduced to a superior cause, namely the heavenly bodies. Okay, planets, stars, that kind of thing. According to these, fate is nothing else than a disposition of the stars under which each one is begotten or born. But this will not hold. First, as to human affairs, because we have proved above that human actions are not subject to the action of heavenly bodies, save accidentally and indirectly. Now, the cause of fate, since it has the ordering of things that happen by fate, must of necessity be directly and of itself the cause of what takes place. Okay, so he's saying, yes, there's fate, but it's not the heavenly bodies, right? People that they carry around, you ever see people carry around a rabbit's foot or something for good luck? Yeah. So they're thinking that this little rabbit's foot somehow has the power to give them good luck. I mean, how would a rabbit's foot give you good luck?
It doesn't.
Psychological, man.
Yeah. Or the heavenly bodies. That's what all the the zodiac, or is that what it's called?
Oh, you mean you're talking about your sign?
Yeah. What is that called?
Astrology.
Astrology. Yeah.
Astrology.
Because what's that? It's all based on heavenly bodies, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm Pisces. I've never put any stock in it, but so everybody that's born in March is I guess a Pisces, and that means we're all going to follow the exact same kind of plan. Everybody that's born in March is going to
have the same personality traits.
And we know that's
like
not
that.
true.
No, that's not.
Yeah. You even know what your astrological sign is?
When were you born?
October.
Yeah, I don't know. I said that I would know off the top of my head. I don't actually know. I'm a Gemini.
I'm impressed that he doesn't know.
Yeah.
And don't ever know. Live your whole life
without knowing.
When you die and you're on your deathbed and somebody says, "What's your sign?" Say, "I don't know."
I don't know, man.
And
then expire.
You know why I found out what mine was? Is because I was taking a very important "Which Avenger are you?" quiz, and they asked me what my sign was. So I had to look it up.
I tend to think that
that's such a Sissel thing to do.
Which Avenger?
You can take those personality quizzes, which Avenger are you, or which
Oh, I thought you meant WITCH. Which?
Oh no. Which member of the Avengers or some other quiz like that? Jokingly that my friends and I were doing, and it asked me what my sign was, so I had to look it up.
Yeah, that's kind of nerdy.
Kind of.
So so you guys you're bringing up Korean dramas.
I didn't expect that we were going to be roasted on our. I'm sorry, you wear helmets. I don't think there's much to be said here.
Okay, so bear with me here. We a couple more slides. Wait, okay.
The rabbit's foot was not lucky for the rabbit, is what Buddy pointed out. This is very true. That's kind of a little bit rude.
He's got 3 more feet. I mean, he's got 3 lucky feet.
You only need 3.
Yeah. Well, speak for yourself.
He might have some more things to say about
You
that.
could probably hop along on one foot, but you probably prefer to have to. All right, so we must therefore say that whatever happens here by accident, both in natural things and in human affairs, is reduced to a preordaining cause, which is divine providence. For nothing hinders that which happens by accident being considered as one by an intellect. Otherwise, the intellect could not form this proposition, the digger of a grave found a treasure. And just as an intellect can apprehend this, so can it affect it. For instance, someone who knows a place where a treasure... Okay, so someone who knows a place where a treasure is hidden might instigate a rustic ignorant of this to dig a grave there. Okay, I'm not calling you an ignorant rustic.
Oh, thank you.
Even though you're from the sticks.
Hey.
Okay. But if I were to, I mean, we do this all the time. I mean, like when we hide Easter eggs, right?
Yeah.
And then our kids would go run around the house looking for them, and I'd say, "Hey, why don't you look behind the couch?"
Little
right?
hints.
And then
Yeah.
they look and they're amazed that they found it, right? But it was all planned, right? I actually directed them there and told them exactly where it was going to be.
Except for when you forget where you hid something, and then
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
but if it's
unfortunate.
an egg, then you smell it a week
That's
later, right?
That's true. By the
Okay.
way, Dottie on Facebook says that say that your sign is the sign of the cross, which I think is really
Ooh,
good.
Oh,
I
very
like
good.
that. I like that.
I like
I
it.
said, there you good.
There you-
There you
No,
go.
I'm
Good.
There
paying
you
attention
go.
to this.
He's
Not-
about to be a high school graduate, you know.
Yeah.
He
what-
did get
what-
into the University of Dallas.
Yep.
I tend to think that I don't know. I never hear anybody like in Catholic circles talk about signs.
No,
and,
and they shouldn't be.
Yeah,
they
no, it's
shouldn't.
Shouldn't be.
But
superstitious
it's
and
more.
weird.
That borders on a lot of the stuff that we're usually told to stay
Yeah,
away
no
from.
bueno stuff.
Yeah, the no bueno stuff. Exactly.
No bueno. Okay, so okay, I got a picture here. So this is kind of similar to what we were talking about before with chance. If you were like about the you two in the mailroom, but this sense, if you have two friends that you think ought to meet each other.
Oh,
And-
set him up.
Yeah, you set them up and you say, "Hey, Sally, why don't you go over to
Or
Chili's?"
strategically sit in a place where, like, oh, you guys have to sit next to each other. You know.
Oh no.
We've never
so
done that.
so I think Thomas is trying to make the case that this is how God is.
Oh.
God kind of preordains a lot of things, but we see it as chance, and we see it as just like totally random. But if things are like absolutely totally random, then God, you're eliminating God's providence, right?
Yeah, and there would be any control either.
Yeah, it's just. But I think I think people fall in two camps. They either
Everything is fated,
yeah
and nothing is fated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that whole thing about, hey, if my plane's going to crash, it's going to crash, and so which I guess to some degree maybe that's right. I don't know. It's I don't know. The more I think about this, the more confused I get.
It's all about
Wait,
having
you're the
faith.
one leading us.
Yeah,
You
Dave.
can't be
No,
confused.
the Holy Spirit's leading us through Thomas, then me, and then y'all. Okay, I'm like the third guy on the
It's like
rock.
playing telephone.
Yeah, because I feel like we're talking about like the plane example. Like, do you take on a plane or do you do this or that and the other? There's other things that are like higher risk too. That I guess would be you would be playing more into. So like I don't know if you do base jumping, that's really dangerous. And you pretty high percentage you'll probably get hurt or killed doing
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was going with that, but I had a thought and I completely lost it.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. If I figure it
Well,
out,
you
I'll
give
let
me
you
a
know.
hard time about being a high school graduate, and you're the college graduate over here.
Just an associates. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know how to play this all out. I think, okay. So anyways, here's the last slide on that. He says, so therefore, inasmuch as all that happens here below is subject to divine providence as being preordained, interesting, and as it were forespoken, we can admit the existence of fate. Okay. So buddy, if you're still with us, has your mind been changed? Okay. Because Thomas is definitely saying there's fate, but he's equating it with providence. Although the holy doctors avoided the use of this word on account of those who twisted its application to a certain force in the position of the stars. Hence, Augustine says, if anyone ascribes human affairs to fate, meaning thereby the will or power of God, let him keep his opinion, but hold his tongue. Okay, so he's saying, yeah, there's fate, but don't talk about it. Because it's so easy for people to
fall too
confused.
far
get
into it.
confused about it.
Yeah.
And
Case in point.
I think this whole show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Buddy's asking, how does fate work when God is in control and God knows when you are born and the day you die? Nothing outside of God controls your end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's the example I use, and it's probably not a good one, is like last Super Bowl. Do you remember who played in the Super Bowl last year? It was the Bengals and the
Rams.
The Rams. And
Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of myself.
And the Rams won, right?
Did they?
Yeah.
It was California that won.
That's the Rams.
LA
yeah,
Rams.
lost to the LA
Lost
Rams.
to
Yeah, I
LA
remember
the
being
whole,
upset.
the whole state, your favorite state, right?
Mm.
Okay, so I know that they won, and I could probably figure out what the score was by looking it up, right? So because I'm kind of it already happened, and I'm outside of time. I know it happened, but I didn't control anything.
Yeah.
I didn't force anybody to throw interceptions. I didn't force anybody to fall or get tackled. But since God is above us, look and sees all things past, present, future in one single glance, He already knows everything that's going to happen. But that doesn't mean He causes it all directly. You know.
How about like when we're talking about Calvinists who are very much like you? Hold on a second. What's the word? Part from tulip, not the.
Oh, yeah.
You predestination.
Predestination.
Predestination. So that they believe that basically there are certain people who are saved, are going to be saved, and that even if you think you are, like there's something it's out of your control. Like the free will aspect is to an extent gone. So how would faith play into that? Like and talking to someone about that they. I don't know.
Well,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
That seems more like the, I guess, traditional pagan view of fate. Just kind of like, this is definitely going to happen in one way or the other, and you can't do anything about it. So like, you're going to hell or you're going to heaven.
You have no control.
Yeah, but the thing about the Calvinists is that let's say I'm a Calvinist and I believe that my fate is already predetermined, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking to myself, gosh, I want to, I go to a bar and I'm drinking and I have an opportunity to, get drunk or whatever, do another sin. I think I would in my mind say, well, since I'm predestined to go to heaven, I'm not going to do that. So it's kind of like a different, because if I say, well, forget it, I'm predestined anyways, I'm just going to go get drunk. Well, then I've put myself basically in the camp of the damned, right? So you're still exercising free will, but you're kind of taking it. I know. Does that make sense? Like I think they have it all messed up. Is that like I'm not going to commit adultery because I'm among the elect. I believe I'm among the elect, so I'm going to live as if I'm among the elect, and I don't want to do stupid stuff because I'm among the elect.
Interesting. Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's the way they would have to think about it. So it's kind of, whereas we would say, I don't want to get drunk or commit adultery because it's a mortal sin. I love God. It's offensive to God, and also I don't want to go to hell. So it's kind of similar in a sense. I don't know. Does anybody else have any thoughts on that? Anybody out there in social media land who are watching? It's a fascinating topic. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of
because I always thought that the Calvinist idea was that you can kind of, or just the general Protestant idea, from what I've heard from Luther and stuff like that, it's just kind of do whatever the heck you want.
Oh, the once saved, always saved.
Yeah, or like if I'm
there's definitely a lot of Protestant groups that fall into that. I'd say Calvinists are just a unique breed.
but it's a different kind of thing. I think Luther would have thought, because he made a proclamation of faith and he has accepted Jesus Christ as his personal Lord and Savior, he's saved.
Yeah,
he's among the elect.
And despite everything, because God forgives, despite everything that you might do in life, it's okay because you accepted Jesus to your heart. You were baptized.
Sin more boldly and all that.
Yeah, and it just you sin, but you're like, oh, I'll ask God for forgiveness, and that's that.
Yeah. Oh, his is kind of blindly optimistic, and I think Calvin is blindly pessimistic.
Yeah.
Then work like all things in the Catholic faith, we're right there in
the middle,
in the middle, which is actually where we should be.
Not everything is 100% black.
I shouldn't drive home down the freeway at 100 miles per hour, and I probably shouldn't drive home at 10 miles per hour. But maybe in that middle,
95.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, a little too far. Not quite in the middle there.
Not quite, yeah.
All right, so now that we've thoroughly confused everybody.
Start talking about Calvin, sorry.
Okay, so here's the thing about free will. This is in a different part of the Summa, and it's kind of a long paragraph, but you'll get this is where Thomas talks about free will, and this is where he's going to depart from Calvin. He says, I answer that man has free will. Otherwise, counsels, exhortations, commands, prohibitions, rewards, and punishments would be in vain. In order to make this evident, we must observe that some things act without judgment, as a stone moves downwards, and in like manner all things which lack knowledge. and some act from judgment, but not a free judgment as brute animals. And then he talks about sheep. And then he goes on to say, but because this judgment in the case of some particular act is not from a natural instinct, but from some act of comparison in the reason, therefore he acts from free judgment and retains the power of being inclined to various things. For reason is contingent, in contingent matters may follow opposite courses, as we see in dialectical syllogisms. Oh, my goodness, those dialectical syllogisms. You got to love them, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
So basically, he's saying, in this whole big framework, divine providence, God foreknows all things, he preordains all things, but within that framework, he's allowing for free will. So if you can make sense of that and say that those two things can coexist, which we definitely think they do.
Yeah.
Okay, so how does that work? Maybe Buddy's still here. How can we have free will when everything is preordained, but God allows that in the equation, right?
Well, it's kind of like what I was saying before. This is the way I've always thought of it: is that God has a plan, and he kind of guides the world in the direction of his plan. But it's like you're driving on a highway. I can drive on the highway, but if I want to just make a Texit, like they say, and just jump off the highway and
Texit.
That's what they call it. Yeah.
How do you spell that? T-E-T-X-I-T?
Like a Brexit, but Texit, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I could just.
Is that because you like texting, or how does that? Where does that come
Texas.
from?
It's because Texas,
Okay.
Texas, you just go
Exit,
crazy
yeah.
and drive off the highway. So if I wanted to, I could just drive off and go across the dirt, and I don't have to go along with what's going the way they want me to go.
Yeah.
But that's probably what I'm going to wind up doing because I know it's the smart thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like that for what God. God might want me to do a certain thing, and it might be obvious that He wants me to do that, but I have free will, so I could just decide, nah, that's not a good idea. But
yeah, interesting. All right, let's see. Any other thoughts out there? Anybody watching? Is this too deep, or I don't know. I mean, it's complicated. It's kind of tricky, but it's also interesting to think about. It's the kind of thing that everybody thinks about, I think, at one point, but they don't perhaps go this deep into thinking about it.
It's like a random shower thought you have for 30 seconds.
Well, I mean, anybody who's thinking as marriage minded has probably thought what kind of goes into me meeting my spouse? Is it I go to a bar and that guy's at the bar and we end the girl and the guy getting married? Was it chance? Was it this? People talk about this kind of stuff all the time.
It's true.
Or people claim at weddings, I set them up. I was the one that introduced them, so they take some credit.
Or they'll be like, it was fate that they happened to be at the same place at the same time. There's no way they would have been able to meet, any other time. Yeah.
But you got to admit, if you're at a wedding and somebody gets up there and says, it was fate that they met, would something go off in your mind saying, I don't that's against the Christian faith?
Yes.
Probably, yeah.
Well, really?
I think it would.
Okay, seriously. But would you change?
I'd be less now. Yeah, I'd be less. It depends on the person too, what what perspective I know that they're talking.
Exactly.
If they're good Catholic people, I would assume that they were meaning it kind of in this context. If they weren't,
or you
Christians.
could later on in the reception say, by the way,
Aquinas is teaching on fate.
Let me show you this video.
I brought my friend Dave Palmer to come give a speech about.
I'll just be like, Dave, you need to get over here
go
now.
up there and give like a 30-minute toast.
There you go.
About fate.
About fate.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think it kind of changes things. I would just, I don't know. Even before studying this, would say, I kind of there's a fate. It's tricky, but I don't think it would have offended my sensibilities if somebody said that. Now, if somebody were to say it was in the stars,
that kind of stuff.
It was in the stars that they were going to meet. If they said that, all of a sudden I'm like, whoa.
That's crazy.
Honestly, I think it's the word fate.
Yeah.
I think it's when you go talk about the definition and it would say it in a different word or something like that, it doesn't bother me. But I think when you hear fate, you just immediately think like the stars and that kind of.
You just negative connotation.
Yeah, you just have a negative thought towards it.
And don't you think oftentimes fate seems to have a negative thing, like it's like bad stuff that's going to happen in your life?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. My fate is
You're
to
ill-fated.
get hit by a bus when I walk out of the building today.
That would be impressive
like
considering there aren't buses outside the building. That'd be really,
bus.
that would be really a sign from God. I'm pretty sure.
If I get hit by a bus outside this building, then
God's telling you something.
Yeah, God's saying
God wanted you dead.
Yeah, but there's you ever heard of the thing where somebody said if I was granted one wish, I would ask where I will die, and then I'll never go there.
That would be the worst.
And then you never go there. So does that?
If I was asked
about it.
If I was granted a wish, I would just ask like about a decision coming up. Like, God, which decision is the right decision to make? That would be my.
What would you ask if you had one wish?
I would probably just be like, or if I had a wish, we're talking about like I'm adding God into that. God is the one giving
Okay.
me this
Yeah,
wish. So
right,
like
right.
he can answer one question basically for me,
Yeah,
I'd be
okay.
like, could you please either some big thing in my life, like vocation wise or something like that, just be like, is this the right decision? That's probably what I would ask, just so I could get that 100% clear answer from God.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, what would you do, just hypothetically, because we're kind of talking about weird stuff today, is if you said, like, God, show me my future husband, okay? And
Then do I just like try to memorize his face?
No, there's a picture in your mind, and you're like, no!
Not him.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you're like, yeah.
Or what about when you do eventually like stumble into that person? You're like, it's you.
Well, then you would just like it's destiny, it's fate.
Destiny.
I'm gonna marry
Even
this
though I already
guy,
knew.
you know?
Yeah. Poor guy had never had a chance. I'm sorry,
know.
you are locked in.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Then if he says like, would you like to go out with me? And say like, I don't have a choice.
Like, do you have a ring? Like, let's just go skip.
Yeah,
past it.
let's just
go.
skip right to it. I know I'm gonna marry you, man.
So, real quick, buddy on Facebook said, I was raised Baptist and was under the once saved, always saved kind of umbrella. And then I would go to church and ask forgiveness for sins I was going to commit, which is something I know I've talked about on my show before about like asking forgiveness for things you're going to do or you think you're going to do.
Yeah,
most
but
likely.
no good priest would ever forgive that.
No.
No. Yeah, because I mean,
Absolutely. Well, because he
he
wasn't going to a priest. He was just in his own head, going to a church. And then also, God knows what is going to happen and cannot intervene. We are made and predestined to heaven, but our free will determine if we go to heaven or hell.
Always gets in the way.
Yeah, that old free will stuff. Okay, so. So that's pretty much it. If nothing else, it gives you a little food for thought. Now, you think this could be taught to kids?
I would hold off on this one.
Yeah.
I would hold off on this one. Yeah,
a little too deep.
A little too deep. I think, something good to think about. Don't think it necessarily something that we have to think about deeply.
Yeah.
That's true.
In order for us to get to heaven. However, it's something beautiful to think about if you're thinking about God guiding things.
So this kind of fall in the category of like sex education or telling kids they're going to die or like stuff that they even though it's true you don't need to belabor them with it at the moment, right?
Yeah. Let them be kids.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Interesting. All right. Well, that's going to do it. I actually have to bail out a little bit early today because I'm working on a pledge drive. So you want to go straight?
Shame.
I know. I'm not fully committed to this program, but I think if time allows, Jonathan and Sissel are going to close out the show. I'm very curious as to
what that's going to look like.
We are
too.
also very curious.
Remember, it's all being recorded, so I could go back and watch.
Oh no!
All right. So. Do you want to transition us into the next phase of this
yes,
program?
Please. I don't think Ian has my music, so I'm just
she
gonna. Can
doesn't.
someone
Okay.
like beatbox or something underneath? It's now that time of the show where we give Dave what to think about. He gives it right back, and some of us went arts and crafts style today.
That doesn't sound anything like the music, does it? I don't even.
I'm
What
so
does it?
sorry. I lost.
All right,
I
we did
lost it. That was not good. I don't think what I said was coherent.
That
All
turned
right,
into Mario
so-
music. I'm just gonna say.
Do you want to go first since you're so prepared?
Sure.
Okay. So now, is there any way that people watching are able to participate in this, or they can do it? They can do it at home
Yeah,
if they
you
want.
can
I mean,
do
they're
it
on
home if-
Facebook. They can take a
So-
picture and submit it on Facebook.
Yeah,
I don't
so-
think you can do that on YouTube.
So
but
get a piece of paper and a pen.
Yes.
Okay, Jonathan. This better be good because you built this up
I
pretty
did.
well.
This is my mad scientist.
he's making us be artists today.
Okay, now
Just
don't,
would like
don't you
to
cheat off mine
wait,
now,
you're
Sissel.
not going to like. If I say it's a squirrel, you're gonna accept that it's a squirrel, right? You're not gonna be
Oh,
like it
sure,
doesn't look
sure.
like a squirrel.
Okay. All right, hit
so
us.
this is Guess That Flag. I really like flags.
Okay.
You
can show us a picture of a flag?
No, I'm gonna tell you the name of a flag.
And we have to draw it.
So yeah, I like flags. I know a lot about
Are
Catholic
they all
flags.
Catholic-related
They're
flags?
Catholic-related flags,
Oh,
and you
I only
should
know-
know all of them.
Okay.
I would- yeah.
Puts
Okay.
a little pressure on us, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
we'll
kidding.
start with the simple one, the Vatican flag.
He says simple, but I feel like that's.
Okay.
But I actually think the Vatican flag is probably one of the more detailed ones,
I
personally.
mean, you
Yeah.
just kind of draw the general idea.
This is going to be a work of art over here.
And how about if we put like a 30-second limit on these,
Sure,
just for time purposes?
Okay, you have to entertain the crowd then.
Okay.
Oh, hey,
and
guys.
you know, it's funny. I've seen the Vatican flag
So many times, but then you actually have to get to it.
I have no idea.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, if you gave me,
my picture's
if
going
you showed me
badly.
100 flags, I could point out that's the Vatican, so I know what it is. I know what color and all that.
Yeah.
But I don't know what's on it. I really don't.
Okay, well, I'm going to win this round then.
Yeah, probably so. Mine's pretty basic.
I'm good.
Okay,
I'm
what's
ready.
the next one?
Can I show it? Are we allowed to show them? No?
Yeah,
or are you
sure.
waiting?
Okay.
What's yours look like?
Mine is
Yellow.
this.
Mine looks really bad, but it's got two
wow.
keys in the
You're
crown.
the closest to
Gosh,
it. So I'll
okay.
I'll
And
give
it's
you the
yellow,
point.
yellow, white, white.
No,
Oh,
It's the
wow.
other way around.
It's
white,
white.
white, yellow, yellow.
No,
Now,
it's
you
just-
got to admit,
Oh, is
I
it
did
half?
kind of have something that looked like keys.
You have
Keys. Yeah, kind of.
yellow and two sticks.
Yellow, two
No,
sticks.
it's hold on.
Like a
yeah.
boomerang.
Isn't it quartered? It's not quartered.
No, one half. The first half is yellow, and the second
Oh,
half
that's
is
what it
white,
is.
and then
Okay.
the crest is on the
My
white
bad. I
Okay.
did have some.
So I won?
Yeah, you won. Yeah, good job. No,
Hang on a
Sissel
second.
got that one. She was the
Okay,
closest.
Sissel for the win.
We just don't have any sound effects today.
Okay.
All right,
Why do
this
we
one-
have sound effects?
I don't know.
Yeah.
This one
going
should
on?
be pretty easy.
Okay. Well, yeah, you said
The Knights Templar flag or the Crusader flag.
Oh,
Crusader
no.
flag.
Oh no. Hold on a
Okay.
second. Wait.
Knights Templar. Come on.
Okay.
Easy.
I have an idea, but I completely could be wrong on this.
Oh, Dave.
I think I'm completely wrong. I might be mixing this up with some other random medieval thing. So apologies in advance.
Okay,
I don't
Come on.
okay,
This is so easy.
this is my. Doesn't it have like a little knight guy on it?
Isn't it a horse?
No.
No.
Okay. Knights Templar.
It's the red cross on the white.
The St. George, cross St. George?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
wow.
So I
I thought it was like the knight dude.
No.
I thought it was a
Knights
horse, Dave.
Templar.
So you're doing way better than me
Okay.
anyway.
Okay, so did I win that one?
Hey, can we take a moment to appreciate my really good horse?
That's a
though?
good
Yeah,
horse.
that is
Sissel wins
good.
it for the horse.
Thank
yeah,
you.
boy, you're an artist.
Thank
Okay.
you.
If you don't get this one, I'm gonna be
Yeah,
severely
you said that one
disappointed.
was easy. So it's only.
It was
gonna-
like, if you had said
I
like
don't-
the
I don't-
flag of St. George, I would have gotten it.
I don't know flags. I think you're gonna do like Texas or United States or something, right?
No, he wouldn't be that nice to us. Are you kidding me?
Okay.
Okay.
Kingdom of Jerusalem.
Oh gosh.
At least the symbol associated with
Oh,
it.
I think they're asking me to come to the
No,
flight
don't
drive
you
early.
dare.
Okay,
Don't you
there-
Kingdom
don't.
of Jerusalem.
The Kingdom of
Just
Jerusalem
the Kingdom of
has a
Jerusalem?
specific symbol associated with it. It is often like seen as a symbol of Christianity.
Okay, here's mine.
Here's my
see-
terrible guess.
It's the cross of Jerusalem.
The
I did a
cross of
fish.
Jerusalem.
Okay, you got the cross, and you have the small crosses in the corner. You know that one?
Okay.
Oh, I know. Wait, can I draw it out? Which one you're talking about?
We don't geek out on flags as much as you do.
We're
I
learning
guess.
this. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold
That's
on a
all right.
second.
That's all right. We appreciate.
Wait, is this the one you're talking about?
I appreciate the
Is this
humility.
what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. That's
Oh,
what
okay.
All right,
so
well,
that's it.
This is the
okay.
last one. This is the hardest one. that you're
Oh
not gonna
gosh.
get.
I don't think I'm going to do very well on
This
this
is
one.
a French flag.
Okay, I can do France.
No.
White, yellow. Wait, white.
No,
blue,
but
white.
it's
Yes.
it's a flag from France. It's the flag of the Sacred Heart.
Oh, I can probably do that one.
I can probably figure out what that's going to look like. Probably going to get it wrong, but I'm going to pretend. Okay.
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 Wait, the
there's
Sacred
my-
Heart
there's
of
my
Mary or
guess.
Jesus? Is it the Sacred Heart of Mary or Jesus?
No, Mary's is Immaculate Heart.
Sorry
no,
to
no.
interrupt, but have
Yeah.
we already started our trivia?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah. Diane's paying very close. Diane's paying very close attention.
Wait. I'm sorry. You said the Sacred Heart.
Sacred Heart of Jesus,
Sacred
yeah.
Heart. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. I need to make this art. Hold on. Let me make this art.
Do you want a hint?
No, I got it.
No, but like just how the layout of the flag.
I'm guessing mine is not good.
I drew it.
She gets the point
Oh,
for being
wow.
closer.
But I had my little thing wrapped around it too. I mean,
I have the crown of thorns. I've got the wound in the blood.
Yeah,
Okay.
it looks more like
And
that.
there's her
so that's
sword.
it, right?
Well, no,
What does it actually look like?
it's a blue flag with a white kind of cross going through it, like kind of like the Norwegian flag. Kind
Yeah.
of.
Oh, okay.
That
So
kind of cross.
what is it about flags that?
My brother's
interest you
also
so
really into
much? I mean,
flags.
I'm just curious.
I
What
just like them a lot.
you like flags?
I like them.
And how many flags do you own?
More than I can count.
Like over 100?
Maybe somewhere around that. Yeah.
100 flags. What's your favorite?
That's a tough question. Probably Texas, Don't Tread on Me, or the Vatican flag.
Okay.
Vatican flag's
interesting.
pretty solid, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a thought. I was going to ask our listeners right now, our viewers, if any of them knew most of those flags and were sitting at home and just judging us madly.
Yeah.
Or are
I am
we in the
disappointed.
or are we in the majority and he's in the minority?
I don't know.
I should've-
I guess you can comment on that if you're watching. So
Yeah, I'm just curious.
do you mind if I go next?
Yeah, go
just
for
in
it,
case I
Dave.
have to bail out.
Absolutely.
Okay, this all I always like to stick with the theme, and so not and.
That was like kind of judgmental.
I know exactly. I was like, as soon as I called myself as soon as I said that I was being, especially since I was looking at Jonathan.
But he says no, he did not know those flags, so I feel better.
All right, so this all has to do with luck or unluck or
Okay.
something related to it, like
Okay.
mostly historical stories. Okay. President Teddy Roosevelt was shot in the chest in 1912, and he only managed to live because he happened to be carrying a blank, which saved his life.
Wasn't it a water bottle?
It blocked, like a Yeti,
Like a canteen. Like
okay, so you're saying it blocked the bullet that he was about to give a speech, and because he was carrying something, the bullet
flask. No,
didn't hit him. What
It was a cigar case.
cigar case.
cigar case.
I'm gonna say like a water,
Or covered
like
in
a metal
flask.
water
I think it
container
was
or a
cigar case.
flask.
No, interestingly, it was his speech. He had a 50-page speech that he was holding. And interestingly, the speech, along with his eyeglass case, slowed the bullet down just enough so that it didn't hit his heart, which would have killed him. Afterwards, even though he had just been shot, Roosevelt insisted on delivering the 90-minute speech.
I was gonna say the shooter also saved everyone from listening to the 50-page sheet, but
Right, yeah, that would have been the upside. Okay, what are the odds of being struck by lightning? 1 in what?
Ooh. Actually, I think they're a little bit greater than I think people realize.
Is it like
see
one
who
in a
gets, see who
One
gets closer.
Is it like a? It's a just okay.
I
Hold
think
on.
it's 1 in a trillion. That's what I think.
Really?
One
You
in-
went. You went. I was
The
gonna
odds
say.
of being struck by lightning?
I was
one
gonna
in-
say 1 in 100,000.
Yeah, 100,000.
No,
You
no,
said
trillion.
But there's aren't a trillion people that have even ever lived, so that means like
Yeah.
nobody would have ever been struck by lightning.
The hands being selected with who
Yeah,
gets
yeah,
the
hold on,
hold
who
on.
gets the bomb
Wasn't
today.
thinking.
Okay, so you said 100,000.
I probably lowballed it, but I will.
I'm gonna say 1 in 100.
1 in 100, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's actually 1 in 12,000.
I was almost said 10,000. I'm so mad I didn't do
yeah,
that.
Jonathan's
Closer.
Oh yeah.
And one guy, Park Ranger Roy Sullivan, was struck by lightning 7 times. But when you're a park ranger, you're on
makes sense.
That's
trees
more
a
likely
lot.
that that's going to
Yeah,
happen, I
yeah,
think.
So,
Especially if you're like a mountain park. ranger.
and okay, who am I describing here? This man received the role of a lifetime as a very, very famous actor because he was working as a carpenter in the director's home.
Nick Offerman.
And he was completely shocked to be offered the career-making role, which he had never auditioned for.
Nick
A
Offerman.
very, very famous role, famous
I'm
person.
going to say someone like Keanu Reeves just because he's so. I feel like that's a random way that he would get famous. I don't know.
Nick Offerman.
Harrison Ford.
Really?
Yeah. Han
I was
Han
closer
Solo.
to time period.
Right.
Can I get?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So neither of you get it. Okay.
No, okay.
This relates to something you were talking about earlier.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, Buddy knew that one, by the way, about Harrison
really?
Ford.
Okay. Now, Blank is known as a famous country star in his own right. Okay. Blank. But in 1959, he was just a member of Buddy Holly's backup band. When the tour musicians decided to fly in their next stop, instead of taking a bus, Blank gave up his seat to J.P. Richardson, known as the Big Bopper.
Right.
As is written in Don McLean's American Pie, the plane crashed, killing Holly Richardson and Richie Valens. Supposedly, in Holly's last conversation with Blank before the crash, he joked, "I hope your blank bus freezes up again," to which Blank said, "I hope your plane crashes."
I know. I know.
I don't know if you...
I know exactly who you're talking. I just don't remember his name. I've watched
Famous,
documentaries about this
country
guy.
artist,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is he famous still? Like, is he still pretty popular, known today? Do you think?
I think he's still alive, but old.
Buddy Holly?
No, he's the one who died.
No, he died.
It's not like Willie Nelson or something.
In that kind of
Yeah,
vein,
anyway.
right? Waylon Jennings.
Waylon Jennings. That's who it was.
Waylon Jennings.
Never
Okay.
heard of him.
man.
All right, couple more real quickly. What's the largest amount of money in a U.S. jackpot lottery that was won? The largest ever won. January 13th, 2016. Actually, 3 different tickets. California, Florida, and Tennessee. So I guess these 3 people shared how much money?
I feel like I should.
I want to say like
And it's in the.
52 million.
No, it's more
Higher than that, you think? Higher? Okay.
52 million?
Sorry, I went. 500 million. I'm gonna go there.
So are you saying
500
half a billion?
Half a billion.
I think about 600 million.
Okay, so you're saying
He
more
went
than
higher.
half a billion.
Yeah.
1.56 billion. So Jonathan got closer.
Wow.
Yeah. Imagine. So they each got
Wow.
each got about a half a bill.
Half a bill.
Okay. All right. Two more. On November 30th, 1954, Alabama resident Ann Hodges became the first and only person ever to be struck by what?
Okay, hold on. Read it again.
On November 30th, 1954, Alabama resident Ann Hodges became the first and possibly only person to ever be struck by a falling what?
Meteoroid.
Hey, she's actually right.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was going to say a falling cow.
I'll say piano.
Because it could be like in a tornado.
Yeah,
An 8.5-pound space rock. Diane's applauding
Oh,
herself.
man. Good job, Diane.
Okay. Now, if anybody's going to know this, it would only be Sissel. No offense. Okay?
Okay.
Kind of like I don't know any of your flags, okay? So, but that's all right. Yeah, we're all good. But you may know this, but it's kind of somewhat random.
Sissel's random.
This person is called the unluckiest man in music for being dropped as the drummer of the Beatles in 1962.
Pete Best.
Oh, yeah, I told you. Mere weeks before Love Me Do rocketed the band to stardom.
You know what's really interesting, though, is he is the drummer on Love Me Do.
Oh, is he really?
Because their producer, George Martin, didn't like Ringo Starr.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure he was the actual drummer on that,
You
but
know
after
all
that,
the
he didn't. Yeah.
background.
Sorry.
Okay, so I can hang around for, let's see, about 3 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So-
That's right. I
so-
forgot. I was about to
and
be
then
like,
More minutes,
okay.
Dave.
3 more, yeah. By the way, I thank you. I think the flag thing was pretty
It was
creative.
fun.
Oh, thank
I
you.
liked
Yeah,
it
was
a
good.
lot.
I just like to give you a hard time.
I
but
like
it was
drawing
very
bad
good.
pictures. So my topic is like Vatican shrines, the Vatican shrines and churches. So it's going to be kind of a random assortment of that. Of just
Vatican
ones that I
shrines.
found interesting.
Okay.
So
How many
for,
total?
4, I think. I kind of lost my place, so I need to go back while you're answering and figure it out.
All right.
So first one is, what was the originally on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel prior to Michelangelo? I can't speak today. Michelangelo's fresco.
I'm going to say just like a blue sky.
Okay,
Just like blue. Yeah, sky blue.
Wasn't that gold?
just gold.
I think it was just gold, wasn't it?
Gold.
Birds.
Hysterically, y'all are like both almost right because it was a blue background with gold stars.
Oh, really? But no, okay.
But so you together, you kind of
Yeah,
got
we
it.
Each
Yeah.
get half a point.
So you get a half a
great
point.
minds working together.
Okay, so we
Yes.
all know when a new pope is elected, white
Yes.
smoke, right?
Yes, right.
So, but what happens when, to signal that a new pope was not elected yet, black smoke is released from the Vatican? What 2 items, after being bound together with a needle and a thread, and burnt to is burnt to produce this? The way they worded this is weird, so I was trying to change
black-
it. Yeah, to produce the black
I
smoke.
remember hearing
I'm gonna
about
say,
this.
I'm going to say paper and coal.
Okay, Jonathan.
I feel like it was like an incense thing.
It is the ballots cast and straw.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's a swing and a miss, I think, on both of our parts.
Okay, so this book is old, and I haven't had time to do a little bit old, so it might be updated. Although there have been 265 popes, we might be on 266.
Yeah.
I think
so.
possibly.
Yeah.
How many pontificates, reign of the Pope, have there been?
How many pontificates?
Mhm.
I don't understand the difference.
That's the point.
How many pontificates? There's been do you say 265?
Yeah, 265.
But how many pontificates?
But
But like maybe the first ones didn't have a pontificate because that came later or something.
I don't know. You
Okay,
tell
I'm
me.
gonna
Guess a number.
say 100.
wait, so how many popes were on 260 something?
No, so basically,
265.
how many pontificates have there been?
Okay, I'd say about
Oh, because pontificate means something.
Yeah, it's the reign of the Pope. So how many reigns of a Pope have we had?
Reigns. So Peter didn't reign.
I don't know. You tell me.
Okay.
Just make a guess. You have to get the number. You have to
I
guess.
said 100.
You said 100? All right.
200.
It is 267 because Pope Benedict IX reigned 3 different times between 1032 and 1048. So, trick
Okay.
question,
All right.
guys.
That was tricky.
Oh, I get it.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
I thought maybe like they didn't call it reigning as a pontificate until a certain date or something. No. Okay. I'm
Okay.
not doing too well.
That's
Y'all
okay.
notice?
That's okay. All right.
This is my last one I'll be able to do, and then you guys close out the show.
How many popes are buried at St. Peter's Basilica?
Most of them. That's my answer.
That's not an
St.
answer.
Peter's Basilica, I'm going to say,
You know how many popes there have been now?
I'll say
Okay.
200.
I'm going to say 1.
You're just trying to win.
Just Peter.
No, it's 91.
91. So I actually got closer.
Man.
You did. I thought that was.
I'm leaving.
I thought that was your strategy, was to like end.
No, I was thinking like maybe it was a trick question.
I lost my
like,
place. Is it 91?
Okay,
92?
thanks everybody. Jonathan and Sissel are going to close out the show. Thanks for watching. See you next week for the next Back to the Father. And you guys be good. This is being recorded, okay?
Oh, no, we're being watched.
Okay.
Take me off the camera.
I can't.
Oh.
Bye, Dave.
Okay.
Okay, by the way, Mario corrected me. It wasn't Peter Best, but the sessions musician Andy White. But yeah, Ringo's wasn't used on it, but it was used in another album that they included that song. Well, what'd you learn? Thank you, Mario. I knew it wasn't Peter Best. I'm sorry, it wasn't Ringo. I just couldn't remember who it was. So Andy White, you're welcome. So with these last couple of minutes, I want to remind everyone that if you want to get ahead of time an update about what we're going to be talking about and a reminder, because sometimes the day comes and goes and you're like, oh, I missed Back to the Father. And it is fun to tune in live. If you are able to, I'm going to go ahead and link our email list. We have a web page and you can join our email list. And we send out an email the day of and have a lot of fun. Like today, I had a lot of fun trying to figure out what graphic to use for when we're talking about fate. So I had some guy holding up a card, like he just read your future. And so you can get a little update. And also you get the links to our social media pages so that you don't have to go looking for them. So I'm going to link that here. So make sure you join our email list so you can stay up to date with what Back to the Father is doing. And also, if you're not already, subscribe to our Back to the Father specific YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's important. We don't have enough subscribers on there.
We don't. We have, how many do we have? My gosh. It's more than 7 actually. We have 12 subscribers.
Oh, 12.
Woo! So, but those are mostly us. So we would appreciate it. I will also link that on our other social media pages as well. But we appreciate everyone who participates. But of course, we always want to have more friends as well to join us. So I'm going to pop that down. Victor was like, I knew you all were on today, but busy working. That's understandable. Thanks, Victor, for joining in a little bit anyway. You can always watch the replays. And something I have been working on that I haven't been able to release too much of, but we are going to be breaking down some of the shows. I don't know if I've told you about this, Jonathan, and making like 10-minute clips about the bulk of what we're talking about, so that you can kind of, if you're looking for what are the 5 proofs for the existence of God, and have them broken down in our show. And so if there's anything in particular of a past show that you're like, man, I wish we had the Cliff Note version of, let us know. You can always, and if you have any questions, you can always ask Dave for Dave Palmer at grnonline.com if there's any topic that you want to do. Dave did mention that he thought he would let you and I pick an upcoming show topic. We can work together, upcoming show topic, which I don't know if that's...
I think it's a great idea. That's going to be
great
fantastic.
Idea. And thanks, buddy. He also was doing pretty well on the trivia today. He actually had got a lot of them right, honestly.
Did anyone get any of the flags right?
He said no. He didn't know any of the flags, but beyond the Vatican flag, I mean, to be fair, I mean the Sacred Heart one. I still actually want to look that one up, and
it's a nice flag.
I bet it is. I was hoping you would do isn't there a Marian flag, like a blue one with stars? Isn't that one?
Yeah, but that's...
That was about the limit of my knowledge.
Yeah. I could have done that one, I guess. It didn't come to mind.
Yeah, it's definitely. So, Jonathan, I'm going to ask you, in these last 2 minutes we have, I promised Dave we would behave, so I'm going to try to make sure we keep it, Yeah. But on theme, out of what you've learned on Back to the Father, do you think it will help you when you go to the University of Dallas?
Oh, definitely. I've learned a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It's shocking to say. Not that I didn't expect to learn, but just
I'm excited for when you start going to some of your philosophy classes and stuff like that, and you can come in and you're like, oh, actually, I know that, and you can tell. Of course, you're going to tell all of your fellow students that Back to the Father is.
Yeah, I'll just walk around the big Back to the Father flag. Fanfare.
Oh, of course, a flag. Are you going to design you haven't designed a flag for Back to the Father yet.
I'm going to have to work on that when I get home.
I forgot I had one more question I meant to ask, and I just found it again. So I'm interested to know your answer on this. Diane, if you want to play too. It's a 50-50 chance. True or false? All right. True or false? St. Peter's Basilica is taller than the Statue of Liberty.
True.
Is that your final answer? Oh, you're in agreement there. Wow. Am I just like someone who doesn't know things? It is true.
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
Woo! It doesn't give me the heights. I wish it did, but yeah, so I think that's about it we're going to have for Back to the Father today. Thank you all so much for joining. Again, make sure you check out our YouTube channel and sign up for the email list so you can stay up to date with everything that's happening. And if from time to time we have to take a day off too as well. But thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you come back again next Friday as we talk about another interesting aspect of the Summa Theologica on Back to the Father. God bless and have a great weekend.
Thanks for joining us for Back to the Father. And don't forget, the glory of God is the human person fully alive. If you have comments about the show, email Dave Palmer at grnonline.com.